Load testing today is done with a myriad of tools from commercial and open source vendors. In such testing, the tester creates virtual users with these tools to drive load against distributed Java and .NET applications. These tests produce reports that identify symptoms, pointing to the part of the application that was slow for the specific transactions driven by each virtual user. However, these reports only provide data pointing to symptoms that the application was too slow, had errors, crashed, or encountered a memory leak. They don't provide development with the root cause information for each transaction needed to resolve such issues quickly. As a result, test cycles resemble loops that can begin to seem infinite to those caught in their iterations. The tester documents the results of the initial test and combines these results with information pulled from logs and from other tools such as system information, forwarding the package to development to help them attempt to reproduce the problem. Most often, this information isn't enough for developers to reproduce the problem. So after a failed attempt, they create additional log information and print statements and ask tests to test the application again with this additional debugging information. The tester is then required to compile this additional information manually, then rerun the test with the additional debugging information required by development. Oftentimes, even with this additional information, engineers in development aren't able to reproduce the problem, and the cycle continues again and again in multiple loops in a futile attempt to find the root cause of the problem. This process of manual diagnosis through multiple test iterations can take weeks of time, often without finding root cause. This cycle becomes even more painful with geographically distributed development teams who are unable to collaborate in person with their testers, wasting months of tedious manual diagnosis to chase the root cause of performance issues. And when the problem involves third-party development or third-party code, finding out what's going on in that code is almost impossible, inevitably leading to a never-ending cycle of finger-pointing, leaving the problem unresolved. Load testing with dynaTrace's continuous APM system changes the game dramatically by providing a 360-degree view into application performance, ending the need for painful problem reproduction and development. dynaTrace deploys lightweight agents into the application, with sensors that reveal the inner workings of that application on a transaction-by-transaction basis, under full load while the load test is running. dynaTrace correlates all diagnostic information provided by these lightweight agents into the load testing reports, ending the need for testers to manually document the problems unearthed by the test or pull log files to send to development. All this information is captured in the dynaTrace pure path for each transaction, all of which are stored in a dynaTrace session that can be easily forwarded to development. The dynaTrace session ends manual problem reproduction by providing the developer with the full execution path of every virtual transaction correlated with the necessary contextual information displayed visually in the dynaTrace client. This deep visibility into every individual transaction enables developers to quickly isolate and resolve errors identified in the test. Similarly, external teams and other third parties that do not own dynaTrace can view the pure path information via the free dynaTrace viewer, similar to a free PDF reader, so they can see the objective evidence generated by the load test in order to resolve any problems in their own code. dynaTrace Continuous APM significantly accelerates time to market by reducing the test cycles needed to resolve issues in code builds. In addition, the deep visibility provided by dynaTrace can be launched from the load test tool via REST interfaces, enabling diagnostics to be fully automated. Finally, the objective evidence provided in PurePath data facilitates collaboration between test and development, even between geographically distributed teams and third parties, ending unproductive finger-pointing and changing the dynamic between those teams. dynaTrace Continuous APM for test centers, dramatically changing the game by providing a 360-degree view into application performance.